Hey everybody, Hat Creature here. Still wearing my beanie because I can't find my bowler hat. I'm considering it missing. So today we have this article, Terminator 7's reboot, which I didn't know that they were still doing, should copy Halloween 2018. And I find that fascinating to say about a franchise about time travel. And that's just it's like, bro, they already did that like almost twice. So Halloween 2018, one of the reasons it became so successful is because they actually cared about making a good movie. That was really it. That's it. That's why it was a good movie, because they wanted to make a good movie. Not what they did with Terminator Dark Fate. They didn't want to make a good movie. I believe the director wanted to make a good movie for the last Terminator movie. Now, I don't know. I don't quite recall whose fault it was, but James Cameron said it was the director. The director said it was him. It's a whole bunch of he said. But the biggest reason why Terminator Dark Fate failed was because it was just stupid. The marketing was absolutely horrible, as it insulted most of the fan base. And then the story itself insulted the viewer, especially everyone who watched all the other movies. By killing off the main character just so they can tell the exact same story of that character with a different character was a horrible decision. Let's kill off John Connor and then retell the exact same story. Yeah, horrible, stupid decision. That's why that one failed. But when it comes to the Halloween 2018, the plot device of taking a well-established popular film and then continuing from there as a fresh sequel, Terminator kind of already did that. It didn't do the exact same thing as Halloween, but it did do that with Terminator Genisys. You might be able to hear my cat clawing at my door. The cat is in my room. Karibo, he's such a beautiful kitty. Where is it? Oh, well, it's not really saying. Yeah, he's in my room right now. I let him out earlier, but then he wanted to come inside because, he wasn't with me. Now now he doesn't actually want to leave. He just wants the doors open. But anyway, the whole thing about Terminator Genisys, the problem with that was that, yeah, it went back in time, and it basically made a retelling of Terminator Genisys. Same film, same story, but because they went back in time and then they went forward in time, they basically made a reboot from the first film, completely erasing the first film by changing everything about it. But they did revisit the first film and go all the way back to go forward. But I don't think Terminator will ever reach the height it once had, because for the Terminator franchise is this serious issue where they make a really cool story, but then they end that story almost in the same film, and they kind of make it impossible to keep going. Like, how are we going to make a sequel from this? Because that's what happened with Genisys. With Genisys, they went back in time, they went forward in time, then they had the villain come back through time, and then basically start a new timeline with Skynet. But then they destroyed Skynet completely, so it wasn't even possible to make another story. Come on, kitty. Come on, kitty. It's time to go. Come on, Karibo. He's a good boy. He's a good kitty. Such a beautiful cat. So chunky. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah, they made it impossible to make another movie because Skynet was destroyed. And that's what happened with Terminator 2. Skynet was destroyed. That's what happened with Terminator Salvation. Skynet was destroyed. And it just happens over and over again. If you want to make a sequel, you have to leave it open. You can't actually end the story. And if you do end the story, you need to have a backup plan to continue the story. And that's not something Terminator does. Because the whole point is time travel. The whole point of the time travel mechanic is to end something before it begins. So its biggest trope, the core of the franchise, is the thing that's actually holding it back with these writers who make these films. And I don't think following the Halloween thing is really going to work. In this article, they say start off with Terminator 2. Go back to the last good movie, T2, and go from there. But the problem with T2 is that it ends the story. Again, it destroys Skynet, before it's ever conceived. Terminator 3 had the same problem. The original Terminator 3 had to say, oh, yeah, guys, you destroyed the physical evidence, you destroyed the hard drives and the memory banks, you got rid of everything, and you even killed the Terminator that was with you. By all accounts, you should have done it. But there was a backup. So it completely voided all the progress of T2. And, it just happened anyway. So they had to make them fail in order to make another movie. And if they want to go back to Terminator 2 and do that again, they're going to have to do that again. It's another Terminator 3. And it's just another thing of going back in time and, one Terminator, always one Terminator to kill one high-value target, even though it's failed every single time. No, they have to do something fresh. They have to do something new and something beautiful. I think they should focus on war. The franchise has mostly followed the whole pattern of I'm in danger, I'll get chased, nice action scenes, another chase, story, chase, and end. But we've only had one film, kinda, that was about the future war. Now, I personally would like to see more of the future war, but we don't have to go that way. If these horrible writers truly want to stay in the present day instead of going to the future where all the action is, then they should bring the future to the past. An idea I've had, now this idea isn't good. This idea isn't revolutionary. But the idea I've had was if you wanted to do something new, but still use Terminators in a new way, that didn't make any sense. Basically, instead of having one Terminator go back in time, you would have several Terminators go back in time. And they wouldn't be going after singular targets. So you think about time travel, is depending on how you want to use time travel, you can make a checkpoint. Quick save, quick load. I forget what show it was, but there was this show where they also dealt in time travel. And one of the things they had was this figure wanted to permanently embed themselves in the timeline to make it impossible, even through time travel, to get rid of him from the timeline. I think that was Flash, Season 3, Savitar. Yeah, I think he was copying himself through every single timeline possible at the very end. And that's what Terminator should do. If they're really adamant on using time travel, they should go from the future to the past. Have a squadron, a platoon of Terminators go back in time and do something extraordinary. Do something extremely dangerous. Something huge. They should go back in time, way back, and not kill anything. They should go back and make a factory. Then they should go back and make a factory again. Then they should go into the future and make a factory. Basically, create checkpoints through time of a factory. So Judgment Day is sooner rather than later. And even if people destroy one invasion in time, they're not destroying the invasion because the invasion happened before. And then it happened before that, too. And then it happened after. But it was all because from the future. So even if someone actually does destroy the future timeline, the Terminators will permanently be stuck in time forever. Because they're in several points of the past and not the future. They're present is always in danger because the Terminators are always there. They can't get rid of them. So even if they went back in time to destroy one factory, another factory would be made because the machines making those factories, those small ones, of course, would be making their own factories. They'd be going into the future making factories, going back in time to make factories. It would be very confusing, but to stop the story from ever ending, that's what they would do. And then they would have this whole future war in the present. So nowadays, you and me here would be getting attacked by Terminators. Now, I will admit, they wouldn't be able to have any of the giant machines. They wouldn't even not be able to have the abstract machines. But maybe they could. Because the whole thing about the time machine is that organic matter can go through, but not metal because of the magnets. It would tear itself apart. Now, you don't actually have to disguise your machine as a person to have it go back in time. The key point is organic matter. Why can't you just get a cow carcass and cover your machine with it? Why can't the machines grow skin? See, if the machines focus, like, they already can grow skin, but what if they just grew a skin sack for a machine to hide in? A ball. Several machines could hide in a ball. Kind of like a cloak of flesh, organic matter. They could bring in huge machines back in time instead of just one single Terminator. It would be a weird story. Like I said, it's not a good story, but that's something I was thinking of. It's focusing on the war. It has time travel. Nobody's special. And it's different. It's really weird. That's what I would do. But going back from Terminator 2, the only way you could make a third film from Terminator 2 is to do exactly what Terminator 3 did, and that's to abolish everything that happened in Terminator 2. You would have to go all the way to Terminator 1 and make a new Terminator 2, which is a mistake. Because nothing will ever beat T2 with, the T-1000, that film. Nothing's going to beat that. And if you erase T2 from the timeline, you're erasing the best movie from the timeline, which is also something Terminator Genisys did. Yeah. So I don't think this idea would work. And they really didn't even say how they would do it. These articles. I came up with an idea. It's up to you to figure out what that is. Down here, I might have to actually put my glasses on for this, because I can't see. I'm not wearing my contacts. Wow. Wow. They don't actually say. They don't come up with their own idea. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see it. They don't actually come up with their own idea. They just said they should do it. They should copy 2018, go back to a previous movie. But they don't actually outline their own story because they don't want to. They want you to do it. The whole point of the article is to create a discussion, not actually create new ideas. Does not need to disregard everything after the first film. Franchise peaked. Yeah. That was the best one. They don't actually have any ideas. So, good job. Your whole article is a failure because you talked about everything but that until the very end. Good job. So, my bad. So, anyway, yeah, that's all I got for you today. Let me know your thoughts. I love Terminator. Dark Fate was awful, but it had some cool things about it. It was the first Terminator movie that had kind of two Terminators, which is something I didn't like about all the other ones. Why would you send one Terminator after a high priority target when you should be sending 5? Why are you so stupid? Why have you constantly failed and you're just not getting better? Behavior. Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't about Dead by Daylight. So yeah, I liked things about Dark Fate, but the movie itself had a lot of problems, especially in marketing. So yeah, tell me your thoughts. What do you like about Terminator? What would you do? Would you forego the past at all and just focus completely on the future? And just say, hey, we're in the future now. This is the future war. don't have anything, no canon, just flat out, it's the future war. Would you do that? I think that would be highly successful compared to anything that they're doing now. Focusing on the future war would have a it would be way more creative than any of this dribble and trash they're putting out there. Just going to the future war, no time travel. The Terminator game, Terminator. I don't even know what it's called. There's a Terminator game. It's beautiful. I have it on PS4 and PS5. That is one of the best Terminator games, and it's entirely in the future war, and it worked out great. So I think they should focus on that. Do you feel that way too? Let me know your thoughts, your ideas. Let's do what this article wants us to do and discuss new ideas because they can't do it themselves. So thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day while I struggle to stop the recording.